Black Myth Wukong's been out for nearly a week now, and it smashed 10 million sales in 3 days.
He's not just any monkey. He's a monkey of merit.
It took 83 hours to sell 10 million copies of this game. Now, we saw that this is like the highest concurrent player count on Steam for a single player game.
Wukong Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
But there's been some... I don't even know how to explain this. People seem mad that this game is doing very well. And they're going as far as to say, oh, the game's carried by China, so therefore it doesn't count.
Knuckleheads.
Which I don't understand that logic. They paid for the game, they're playing the game.
Yeah,
Why do
they
they
are
not
people.
count? They are people. And another thing is, I saw this one post where they were pointing out this massive drop in the player base in a few hours.
Come at me, all of you.
Saying, oh, look, it's all bots, it's all bots. And then like one guy posted a screenshot of what time it is in China, and he's like, no, they're all in fucking bed.
It's like 2 a.m. or something.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
30 minutes ago, 257,000 people playing it with a 24-hour peak of still over 2 million. That's a crazy retention rate, right? Mm-hmm. But why, Cream? I don't get it. So what? Because this Chinese game, which was heavily promoted in China for well over a year, has a crazy Chinese player base. Why do the Chinese players not count?
Do you want to know my honest opinion? And people are gonna they're gonna be like, "Oh, what are you saying that? You're gonna sound leftist." I think it's racist. I legitimately think they look at it like, "Oh, Chinese people." Like, I think they just.
I think nationalist is better. I think nationalist is a better term because, like, right now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know, we're having kind of like
a better term than
a modern day Red Scare with.
It's not because they're Asian. It's because they're.
They look at the CCP that backs it, and every company that comes out of China is heavily regulated by the Chinese Communist Party, and so of course you're going to have a lot of people who are also partially political scrutinizing this game over that very sole fact. And plus, it doesn't help when you get this CCP style like review regulation going on.
Those high above don't trust me. I understand that.
You know, when they were saying don't talk about politics, don't talk about COVID, don't talk about all these things, it kind of sends the people who are partially like political into that headspace where it's like, oh, this Chinese censorship going on and Chinese regulation that's essentially in a way is astroturfing this game into popularity, you know, where people are not allowed to talk about anything else but the game. Oh my God, that's political. Yeah, they're forcing people to just talk about the game itself and not to bring anything else outside of it.
It is weird, though, to say, hey, you can't talk about fucking lockdowns. It's censorship. It is censorship.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. In the very sense of it. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Censorship. But it's censorship we like, Lethal. See, that's the difference. When other people when you censor things I don't like, then it's a problem. But if you censor things, you censor things I don't like, that's cool. But you censor things I want to talk about, now we got a problem. This is my thing. I think a lot of it's hypocritical, yes, nationalistic. That's a better way of saying it.
The problem is, I hate this. I hate we have to address it. But unfortunately, the narrative has been fucking hijacked over not whether the game is good or not. It's whether it's defeated the woke games, you know? That Black Myth Wukong isn't woke, therefore it's good. And then in response, people of a certain fucking political persuasion have come in and said, actually, it's bad and it's not doing as well. Chinese don't count. I don't think it's nationalism because the Chinese kind of have a government they like, that they would support. That's the problem, right? Is that the people who are trying to, like, you know, say, oh, this doesn't count, they actually kind of agree with, you know, the CCP policies. So it is, I would agree with Cream that to discount the Chinese players in this instance, they've inadvertently said that Chinese people don't count.
Wild. And also people forget that Journey to the West and any adaptation of it is immensely popular. People also forget that Dragon Ball.
I was just going to say, have you ever heard of a thing called Dragon Ball?
Yeah.
Loosely adapted from the Journey to the West. Well, Sun Wukong particularly.
It's fucking Goku. Goku is Sun Wukong. He even has the power pole, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the Nimbus Cloud.
The Nimbus Cloud,
exactly. Yeah.
The Chinese definitely are botting. I've done like a bit of an analysis on this before. There was the Total War series. Again, all roads lead back to Total War. They released a game that was supposed to be just kind of like we drop this and see what happens. And it was based in China, and it was the largest performing game by like 200,000 concurrent players at their all-time peak, which beats out Rome 2, their flagship title, by like 60,000 or 90,000, something crazy like that. And Warhammer, which it's fucking Warhammer, you know? It beat that out by like 30,000 players. Just some inconsequential game. So when you have a game that's essentially a AAA standard, I don't know if it is or not. I haven't played it. It's a Souls-like game, people are calling it. And right now, Souls-likes are the big thing. Everyone's cooming over them. Elden Ring did it. It's going to be massive.
There's a billion people in China. What, 300,000, 300 million?
Yeah.
More than
3 billion. 3.
India has more people now, but a billion people as opposed to like the US market, which is like 360 million. The European market, if you count like just the European Union, that's closer to 500 million than the US is. It's kind of crazy that honestly, if you really look at the numbers and you think about it, it could have hit like 3 million, and I don't think it would have been ridiculous.
Well, they actually like the game companies here. We should be asking them, why have you failed to get an audience in China? Then, yeah.
Well, why have you failed to not have a hit both in North America and China at the same time?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
we don't get that. We get Diablo Immortals, which is huge over there, but it's fucking like 3 people over in North America who are playing it. But with this game, we have that like crossover hit where it's huge in Asia, it's huge in China specifically, which is a fucking huge market. It's doing well in Europe, and it's doing great over here.
Yeah. One other factor everybody conveniently forgot about was that this was one of the first like next gen titles that was really hyped up as far as, hey, this is what you're going to get out of UE5, and this game's a little far away. I remember seeing it in 2020, and it was, hey, this game's not going to be out, you know, with the launch of the next gen consoles, but it'll be coming down the pipeline. And you know, it was getting a lot of positive press back in 2020 and 2021, the small studio. And it also is a game that, you know, politics aside, has appealing character designs that resonate with people universally. I mean, the Journey to the West story itself does, but, you know, there's nothing in here that's, I mean, it's escapism. That's what I think people are missing. It's not whether it's woke or not. It's just that it's an escapist story without humans, with these mythical creatures. Well, I mean, there are deities in it, but you know, it's kind of a traditional game, and that's something I think people are longing for and wanting. And then, as Naz said, you know, that people do like that Soul style game because I think that they resonate with people as video games. It's putting the gameplay first. It's the challenge, the game, not putting the story at the forefront, not making it an interactive movie. It's a video game. And the last thing is, I think this is the closest thing we've had to, even though it's on current gen systems, being PS5 and Xbox Series, this is the closest thing on a PC perspective that anybody's had towards a Crisis. You know, I wasn't really necessarily flexing my card and John's card, but you know, you do need a beefy system to play this game well. And those sort of games in the past used to really get a lot of hype because people wanted to, you know, see what their machines were capable of, push them to the limit. And this is the first game that I can think of in a long while that's done that.
But then on the flip side of that, Concord also came out.
Prepare to be disappointed.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Hey, they're trying, bro. Oh, it dropped. Fuck. It dropped. Oh, no.
That was not the plan.
I think it was Legacy Killer. He put out like a short little clip saying it took him 7 minutes to find a game on opening day.
Oh.
You just go to bed.
Yeah,
but this is something that Mozza showed me. And do you want to know when a game is officially stillborn? When they're not even doing Rule 34 of it. When there's no Rule 34 of your fucking thing.
They're right for it.
No, that's it. Nobody wants this shit whatsoever. They see exactly it for what it is. It's just a fucking generic freaking hero shooter. It's not even a good fucking hero shooter.
Oh, it's awful, man.
It's just jam-packed with a bunch of fucking like ideological bullshit into it.
You know what? That's way down the bottom of this game's fucking.
Oh yeah, the
bottom,
game.
man.
Yeah,
And
but the
way down the bottom. A hero shooter's characters, like, say what you will about modern day Overwatch, but you look at the original Overwatch characters, you go, they have character. Soldier 76, you know, Tracer, you go, yeah, these characters have character to them. You look at the character designs in this, and you're just like, what the fuck is that?
They're appealing designs, like they're idealized versions of people. And Asmongold made the argument, like Roadhog exists, but the game wasn't all Roadhogs.
Roadhog is fatter and probably more disgusting than any character in Concord, and you go, wow, at least it's got fucking character to it though. And even just playing the game, you go,
we're
at least based off the beta, you go, it was just a really slow, it was Destiny PvP, but really, really, really fucking slow with tacked on fucking wannabe hero shooter.